I just wish I knew more about guns.
Can we have a civil conversation about firearms?
I'm pro-Second Amendment, all the way. I have kids. Can I have guns in the house?
Guns? Let's talk.
Yes, let's talk. Welcome to Gun Freedom Radio, where we engage, educate, and inform. Sponsored by azfirearms.com, the biggest little gun shop in Arizona. And today is All Hallows Eve. Ooh, scary. And this is our special Halloween edition. I am your host, one of your hosts, Cheryl Todd, and I'm sitting across from...
I'm Dan, and welcome to the show. We've got 2 hours.
2 hours.
Great guests, great features.
And the name of today's show is... I Ain't Afraid of No Gun.
Our first hour, Kids and Guns, How to Replace Scary with Safety. And our guests are Marianne Johnson, who is the Eddie Eagles Programs Coordinator. We got Bill Perkins with the Scholastic
Shooting Sports.
I think I'm scared today. That must be it.
I think you're on a sugar rush. I think you've had too much candy. That's what's going on with you.
Yeah, that's probably it right there. But anyway, it's a great show.
We got Bill Perkins from the
Yes.
Scholastic Shooting Sports Foundation in hour number 1. What's happening in hour number 2?
Spells for Protection and Safety, a witch's brew of preparation acknowledged. Cheryl, where do you come up with this stuff?
I don't...
That's the problem right there.
I don't know.
But
I start baking pumpkin pies.
The good thing about this, gun safety for first-time shooters. We've got Frank Mercy coming in.
Mm-hmm.
He is an NRA certified firearms instructor. And Barbara Baird, owner and publisher of Women's Outdoor News, is going to give you some traveling with your firearms tips. And Bethany Mullen of Refuse to Be a Victim is going to talk about Halloween safety tips.
Very good. And we also have in the end of our last hour, the Responsibly Armed Citizen Report and Dan's Tip of the Week.
Uh-oh.
Is it going to be scary?
No, it's not going to be scary. I just haven't thought of one yet.
Well, you better start thinking because you got about an hour and some to come up with something great.
I'll get it. I got it.
I know you will. All right. I have full confidence in you. Okay. So it's Halloween, right?
Yes.
So what does Halloween mean to you, Dan?
Candy.
Candy. Just candy? That's pretty much where it lands, right?
Well, and candy.
And candy. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of candy?
Any chocolate. You just give me chocolate. I want it.
Just any chocolate.
Yes.
All right. Well, all right. We've been married 30 years. We are husband and wife. And probably our listeners have figured that out by now because you're Dan Todd and I'm Cheryl Todd. But we've been married 30 years. So I'm putting you on the spot, Dan. What is favorite Halloween candy?
Ha, I got you on this one because, you think you can stump me on this, right? Mm-hmm. Well, it's Reese Buttercup, and I see it on your face right now, so I know that.
All right.
I know that's what it is.
All right, pass a napkin.
Throw the wrappers out the top of the counter there.
Yeah, I'll have to clean up after the show. But no, that was very well done. And I also love chocolate, but I like dark Belgian chocolate. Not dark American chocolate. It's a little too waxy for me, but a good dark Belgian chocolate is awesome. All right, favorite candy. What was your favorite costume when you were a kid growing up? What was it?
5th grade, my sisters set me up in a mummy costume where they
Cool.
wrapped all these sheets around me. I might have been a little younger. I can't remember. But all I can remember is that by the time I got on the stage for the contest, all of it came unwrapped.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because I wasn't wearing much underneath. No, I was
there's a
crying.
visual.
I was crying. Well, I look different than Cheryl. I know you don't believe that, but I did look different back then.
Okay, I'll give you that. But how sad,
Yes, it was sad.
And that is hard because some costumes, they take a long time to put together and you put all this thought and effort into them. And then when it's go time, things have sagged, the makeup has run.
I think they were giving a free house or something away.
Yeah,
It must have
no.
been because I was all upset because I didn't win.
It was probably a bag of candy,
Yeah, that's
right? Your favorite, chocolate. So I don't know if I have a favorite, but my go-to was always a hobo. So I would just go into my dad's closet and I would get one of his big flannel plaid shirts, and I'd stuff the belly full of crinkled up newspaper, and I'd get a piece of rope out of the garage and tie my jeans up with it, and I'd go get a piece of charcoal out of the barbecue grill and rub it on my face like I had 5 o'clock shadow, like some, beard. And
That's how I met you, wasn't it?
yeah, that's exactly what I look like. No, that is not what I look like when we met. If that's how you visualize me, we're going to have a chat after this show.
Well, your dad still wears the same shirt. I know that.
He might, actually. And I don't know what those things were called that hobos tote around, but it's the stick with the handkerchief tied on the end.
That's
but I
what
even
they were called.
Is that the technical?
Stick with a handkerchief.
Cool. All right, then. Well, so that was always my go-to. So, we love to hear what other people's favorite memories are from Halloween, your favorite candy, your favorite costume. So send us a tweet or tag us on Facebook. Send us a Facebook post. We're Gun Freedom Radio. And it's always, we want to hear from you every day, but especially on a fun day like this, just so we can kind of be a part of everything that's going on out there across the valley. All right, so Halloween, that's fun stuff. We've got so many cool things coming up, but there's something next week that I don't want to forget to tell everybody about, so let me say it now. Next Sunday, November 8th, is the Honor Walk. Do you remember we had those guys on the show a few weeks back?
Oh, yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah, and so we'd like you to join AZ Firearms at the 5th Annual Honor Walk presented by Circle K. That is Sunday, November 8th at the Talking Stick Resort Arena in downtown Phoenix. Help us to recognize more than 670,000 Arizona veterans and active duty military. See azfirearm.com's World War II howitzer cannon, along with patriotic ceremonies, flyovers, and the moving Remembering Our Fallen exhibit. Honor Walk helps veterans go from green to blue by providing professional networking, mentoring, and career services. Proceeds from the Honor Walk benefit local organizations serving veterans. Honor a veteran in your life and create a personal profile of your favorite veteran and register today at honorwalk.com. For more information, contact Rick Young at 602-531-5021 or email info@honorwalk.com. Did that sound like that just came right off the top of my head?
Yes, it did. And you'll get to see me and my cannon, my working 105 cannon,
So cool.
and see what I look like when I have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and pull that down the freeway.
Yeah, that's it's an early morning. It starts at 6:30. So yeah.
Yeah, just wake me up if you nudge me when you come by, when you want to look at the guns. We'll talk all about it.
But the cannon is pretty cool. We actually have more than one cannon, don't we?
Well, you have to have a boy and a girl.
Is that what's going on?
That's what I told you.
Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm. It's one of those. By the way, honey, I bought 2 World War II howitzer cannons. No big whoop, just a little thing. And the other thing I think our listeners have probably figured out by now is that AZ Firearms, the sponsor of Gun Freedom Radio, is our little mom and pop shop out in Avondale, Arizona. And we have another business too, don't we, Dan?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one. Pot of Gold.
Pot of Gold Auctions.
Yep.
So potofgoldestate.com. You can check that one out too. We've got some really cool auctions coming up between now and the end of the year, and one of them is specifically about firearms and military stuff.
Oh, we've got some drilling shotguns. A drilling is a shotgun and rifle combination. Most of them are German-made. We've got like 7 or 8 of those, maybe 10 or 15. I can't
Holy
remember.
cow.
But some really high-end. There's two or three Merkel shotguns that are factory engraved. That are just beautiful guns. It's things that you just don't get the opportunity to even see them.
Wow.
And they're going to be in our December 7th
I think it's December 7th. I'll look that
auction.
date up.
Or you can go on our website at www.potofgoldestate.com. So you can tell my age by saying www. But anyway, you go there and go to current auctions, and you'll see that there. But then also we have a 1930s truck's going to be in, a pickup truck that's going to be in our January auction, and a travel trailer, some neat stuff. So.
Well, when you mentioned the truck, it made me think of the little Good Humor Vespa motor.
Cushman.
Cushman. Sorry, I keep saying Vespa. Cushman motor scooter. Cutest doggone thing. Somebody's restored it just perfectly with all the right logos and everything. And we actually are set up out at Cabela's. Feels so wrong that we're set up at Cabela's parking lot. They're having a trunk or treat. And so they're having this vintage car show. And our portion of that is we've got a little booth set up where we're handing out our little water pistols that say AZ Firearms on it. And these water pistols, every single one of them has a tag tied on lovingly by our own hand, that on one side it has your Second Amendment rights, and on the other side it has the 5 gun safety rules, because we want kids to learn from the earliest moment about gun safety. And even though this is clearly a toy, it's a plastic red squirt gun, but we want it to be real to kids, to always think of every gun in terms of safety and how to use real guns.
Right. And while, that car show today, there's some really cool looking cars in there. If you've got time, you need to go by there.
Cabela's, is it like
Glendale and the 101.
101, yeah.
Right.
So stop by. You'll see Kim and Deanna in the booth. Wave at them and tell them that Dan and Cheryl said hey from the studio, and that you want some candy.
Yes, they have candy. I did take some of the chocolate candy this morning.
I know. Yes,
Yeah,
I say you are high on sugar right now.
They put the chocolate way at the bottom. I don't know why they did that. Probably because I was there, but they probably moved it up to the top now. Anyway, go enjoy yourself there. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. So I mentioned earlier, I want you guys to tweet us. Please tell us what's on your mind. This show is for you, and we want to hear what you're thinking about in terms of guns, politics, ammo shortages. Dan is a gunsmith, so if you have any questions about a jamming gun or something, send us a tweet or send us a message on Facebook. We want to hear you. So still to come on this special edition Halloween show. I don't think I have a very good scary voice. But anyway.
Oh, you do have a scary voice, Cheryl. I'll tell you right now.
Anyway, how to replace scary with safety when it comes to kids and guns is coming up next, and new shooters and guns. Lots of great Halloween safety tips from the Refuse to Be a Victim program director, and one of the scariest things you will ever try to do with a gun.
Your wife sells it?
That ain't it. But tweet us and let us know what you think it is. All this and more coming up.
Mike Gallagher is tired of the gun control rhetoric.
If Chris had not been able to get a hold of 13 guns, it wouldn't have happened.
Empty rhetoric. And my heart goes out to this father and the mother, because their son will forever be known as the monster who killed innocent people. Stop blaming the gun, the inanimate object, for the evilness of the creature.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekday mornings at 6, right before Dennis Prager at 9, on Intelligent Talk 960, The Patriot.
For straight shooting, look to the biggest little gun shop in the West, azfirearms.com, where they have everything you need to be a safe and responsible gun owner. Huge selection and a friendly and knowledgeable staff. They're my nationwide hometown gun shop, and you should make it yours too. And when you go, tell them old Don Collier sent you.
Come in for AZ Firearms' huge gun buying event taking place now until the end of the month. From single items to entire collections, AZ Firearms pays you the highest values for your guns. Long guns, handguns, military, western, even your old brass and ammo. We buy it all. Find us online at azfirearms.com. That's azfirearms.com. Or visit us off I-10 at Dysart Road at 215 Western Avenue in historic Avondale. Don't miss the AZ Firearms huge gun buying event now through the end of the month. Check us out online at azfirearms.com or stop on by. AZ Firearms, the largest small gun shop in Arizona.
The This is David Davenport of the Hoover Institution for Townhall.com. Even utopia has fallen on hard times. While Democratic candidates like Bernie Sanders point to Denmark and its vast welfare state as their ideal, that nation is running on empty. A government commission there recently said they need to cut jobless benefits after already implementing means testing for welfare support. Denmark has finally hit the wall with its economic growth at a negative 0.5% and its tax rate 48.6%. Even in utopia, those numbers don't work. Clearly, this should be a cautionary tale to today's Democratic Party in the U.S. Yet Sanders holds up Denmark as a role model, and Hillary Clinton agreed in the Democratic debate that it is an inspiring example. But what does Denmark really teach us? That you can't suspend basic rules of economics, that you can't make a welfare safety net into a support system for an entire population. Yes, Denmark has run the Democrats' experiment for us, and it doesn't work. I'm David Davenport.
Learn more at townhallreview.com.
When you're working hard to beat debt, you got to think of creative ways to get your income up. Here's an idea. Sell some stuff at auction. Start with locally owned and operated potofgoldestate.com. The owners, Dan and Cheryl Todd, have over 60 years of combined experience in selling antiques, collectibles, guns, coins, and jewelry. And over their many years in business, they've earned the trust of hundreds just like you. Whether you're saving for a rainy day emergency fund or paying down debt, let potofgoldestate.com help you get the extra cash you need. Potofgoldestate.com will purchase your items outright, or you can consign them to their twice-a-month online auction. Pot of Gold's nationwide online auction is a great place to get top dollar for your collectibles. They specialize in everything from antiques, household items, to cars, boats, guns, and more at potofgoldestate.com. Or visit them off I-10 and Dysart Road in historic Avondale for some live auction action. For more, visit potofgoldestate.com. potofgoldestate.com.
This is the sound of salmonella gyrating on your undercooked chicken. And it looks like Mom might be taking it out a little early. Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. So use a thermometer to cook each type of meat to the right temperature. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Halloween edition of Gun Freedom Radio, sponsored by azfirearms.com, the biggest little gun shop in Arizona. Put a spell on you. Such fun music we've got today. I appreciate the engineers for lining that up for us. So we started with the song Ghostbusters. We ain't afraid of no ghosts. And so we've kind of made a play on that we ain't afraid of no ghosts or guns. But, you know, many people are, especially parents. The idea of pairing up guns and kids is a pretty scary proposition. And we want to take some of the scary out and replace it with safe. Because one of the most fun parts about Halloween is the imagination it takes. Kids are picking out bits and pieces of things to make costumes, like a cowboy or girl, a police officer, and that sort of thing. And we need kids to be extra aware as they're using their creativity to pretend that they don't mistake a real gun for a toy. And so we are excited to introduce to you Marianne Johnson of the NRA's Eddie Eagle Gun Safe program. Marianne, are you there?
Yes, hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us on the air. And tell us a little bit about what the Eddie Eagle Gun Safe program is and how people can use it, parents and children can use it every day, and then as it specifically relates to Halloween.
Absolutely. So the Eddie Eagle Gun Safe program is a firearm accident prevention education program. Eddie Eagle and his wing team are on a mission to help teach pre-K through 4th grade students what to do if they ever come across a gun, which is to stop, don't touch, run away, tell a grown-up. Parents can access all of the material online at eddieeagle.nra.org. All of our activity books are available for download, which you can go over with your children and watch the video and all that kind of stuff all year round.
And I think it's wonderful. And once you've heard that song, which I think we're going to lead out with, you will not be able to get it out of your head. And that's perfect, really, because it's so catchy, and we want kids to be humming it. The little stop, don't touch, run away, tell a grown up.
Oh yeah, this is our brand new song. We just did a big program update in April. And so the new video and the new song is out, and we every time that I do a presentation, I'm always humming it for days after, and it's cute to watch the kids kind of sing along. So it's definitely very catchy, but that's the point, to have it be catchy and to have it stick in kids' heads so that they will know what to do if they ever do encounter a gun.
Absolutely. So what age groups is Eddie Eagle targeting?
So we're targeted towards the pre-K to fourth grade levels, and everything is absolutely age appropriate. We've worked with educators and child psychologists and law enforcement agencies to make sure that each workbook is specifically targeted towards those age groups. So we have a level 1, which is the pre-K to kindergarten, which has lots of fun coloring pages in it and all that, and then a first and second grade level 2 workbook that has a little bit more writing in it, a little bit more challenging. And then the level 3 workbook for third and fourth graders has like word searches in it, and it's very age appropriate, but it's all centered around Eddie's message of if you see a gun, stop, don't touch, run away, tell a grown up.
And the cartoon that goes along with the song is it's colorful, it's bright, it's updated, it's engaging, it's funny, but it's serious too. It's handling a very serious topic. And I think in a way that little kids will remember and also talk to their friends about, which I think is very, very powerful. And that kind of brings me to the next point I had in my mind that, if you're sitting at home and you're thinking, well, we don't own guns, so we're good, right? Are we good, Marianne?
Well, statistics say that over half of American households do have firearms in them. So just because you and your family do not own firearms doesn't mean that your child isn't going to come in contact with them if they, are going over to a friend's house and maybe the friend's parents have them. And that's really why we encourage parents to talk to other parents when they're sending their kid over. It should be included on the checklist of things that whenever you're sending your child over to a new house of, do they have a pool? Do we need to talk about pool safety? Does your child have any specific food allergies? You should be comfortable with the environment where you're sending your kid wherever. And the topic of firearms can definitely be a delicate situation, but it's very important because the safety of your child really depends on it. And whether you own a firearm or not, make sure to ask the questions and to be honest when other parents are asking you questions as well.
Exactly. And I think that maybe, we get so polarized, those of us that value our Second Amendment rights and our gun owners, and those of us that just don't understand the whole, why would anybody even want or need a gun? And so rather than be adversarial about it as parents, we need to set all of the political aside and just open the conversation and say, hey, you know what? I'm not a gun owner, and I'm totally fine with you having a gun. But when I send my kid over, I just need to know that you've got the guns locked up and everybody's going to be safe. I think there's a way to open the conversation and it not be a problem or be adversarial.
Yep, absolutely, and that's exactly why our program exists. We make absolutely no value judgment on firearms itself. It's accepting the fact that there are firearms in over half of all American households, and so, child's probably going to encounter one, and we want to make sure that they know what to do if that ever happens.
Absolutely, and not even in a person's home. I mean, I think we've heard in not just local news, but in national news, how occasionally there's been a gun found on a playground or in a public restroom.
Yep.
Exactly.
Well, and that's the situation that is depicted in the video is Eddie and his group of friends come across a backpack that's been stashed in the park somewhere, and that's where they come across a firearm. So it can be there, can be in someone's home. There are lots of different situations where a child might encounter it, and again, that's why we want to make sure that they stay safe and that they keep their friends safe and they know exactly what to do.
Absolutely. And I read something on the website that kind of brought the whole idea of Halloween and imagination and stuff to mind. And the point is why it's important to discuss pretend versus real life. And, just watching video games or watching TV shows, a lot of times kids see, characters get quote unquote killed. And then all of a sudden they're just fine again, hit the reset button on the video game and they're fine again. And your program talks a little bit about that. Am I right?
Yep, we absolutely do touch on discussing pretend versus real life with your child. And, don't assume that your child knows the difference between being killed on TV or in a video game and the reality of gun violence, because just like you said, they see it on a well-documented frequency of their favorite actor being killed in a TV or movie, and then, is seen in an award show the next night or in a different show playing a different character.
You're right.
And especially with these first-person shooter games now, it's as easy to hit the reset button and you're back to life. So that's why we really stress the importance of talking to your child about the difference between what they see in TV and movies versus what actually happens in real life.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marianne. I hope you and your family have a safe and happy Halloween.
Yep, absolutely. And we encourage people to check out our new website. It's eddieeagle.com. It features the new video online. We encourage parents to have their kids sit down and watch it maybe before they go out trick-or-treating.
Gotta go.
And,
Thank you, Marianne. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
Don't touch. Run away, tell a grown-up.
Hi, folks, I'm Don Carter. If you're looking for the biggest little gun shop in the West, look to azfirearms.com. They have 1,100 guns in stock and a knowledgeable staff to help you find just the right firearm for you. azfirearms.com is my nationwide hometown gun shop, and you should make it yours, too.
Come in for AZ Firearms' huge gun buying event taking place now until the end of the month. From single items to entire collections, AZ Firearms pays you the highest values for your guns. Long guns, handguns, military, western, even your old brass and ammo. We buy it all. Find us online at azfirearms.com. That's azfirearms.com. Or visit us off I-10 at Dysart Road at 215 Western Avenue in historic Avondale. Don't miss the AZ Firearms huge gun buying event now through the end of the month. Check us out online at azfirearms.com or stop on by. AZ Firearms, the largest small gun shop in Arizona.
Are you ready to take your education to the next level? Arizona State University now offers over 90 top-tier degree programs, 100% online. With ASU's highly ranked online programs, you'll earn the same degree as our on-campus students, with the ability to learn wherever you want, whenever you want. Same world-renowned faculty, same leading education, same global recognition from one of the top universities in the world. Call 1-800-581-5369. That's 1-800-581-5369.
I'm Jamie from Sherman Oaks, and I just graduated with my degree from Arizona State University. I chose ASU because I received the quality education I deserve in the major I wanted, all from my home.
Jamie's not the only one to earn a degree from ASU. There are over 90 degree programs offered 100% online from one of the top universities. Now's the time to learn more about earning your degree online from Arizona State University. Call 1-800-581-5369. That's 1-800-581-5369.
Hey everybody, this is Joey Rocket Shoes Dillon, world champion gunslinger and Hollywood gun coach. In the Westerns, there's always a good guy and a bad guy, and sometimes the ugly guy. And I always root for the good guy, which is why I'm here to tell you about the good folks over at azfirearms.com. They are straight shooters and always give you the best deal in town. azfirearms.com is the biggest little gun shop in Arizona and have something for every single gun enthusiast. Long guns, pistols, hunting, military, law enforcement, home protection, you name it. And when you've got some guns to sell or trade in and trade up, azfirearms.com are the folks to see. Geez, they bought a cannon once. They are family owned and operated, friendly staff, courteous, totally reliable. azfirearms.com will give you the best value for your used guns. So stop in, see my friends Dan and Cheryl Todd at azfirearms.com in Old Town Avondale off the I-10 and Dysart Road, and tell them Joey Rocket Shoes Dillon sent you.
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. My student loan is totally paid off.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either. I paid more than the minimum each month, and soon enough, it was gone.
So you're just giving up?
Giving up on what?
The life of luxury. Egyptian cotton, caviar Thursdays, designer everything.
What are you talking about?
Our plan. What happened to winning the lottery and mastering the art of the perfect mimosa? Hosting galas, wearing enough jewelry to require a bodyguard, vacationing in the French Riviera, and then buying it.
I just thought maybe it was time to prepare for my future. You know, set some financial goals, make some smart investments, open a 401k.
Financial goals? Investments? A 401k? You are horrifying right now. Listen, if winning the lottery were easy, everyone would do it.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Gun Freedom Radio, where we engage, educate, and inform. We're having a special Halloween edition show today. You can tell by the music, the Monster Mash playing in the background. And we are sponsored by azfirearms.com, the biggest little gun shop in Arizona. And hopefully you were tuned in the last segment. We were hearing about the Eddie Eagle gun safety program and how important that is to teaching little kids about how to stop, don't touch, run away, and tell a grown-up if they encounter a gun. And I had to cut her off so quickly, but we'll definitely have that information posted on our Facebook page, our Gun Freedom Radio Facebook page. But now we're going to talk about kids that are a little bit older, and because the thought of mixing kids and guns is downright terrifying to many parents. But as a person who grew up in a household full of guns, I can assure you it doesn't have to be scary. And our next guest has a program designed to teach people of all ages to safely handle firearms. With a combination of education and athletics, kids learn to enhance the growth and personal development of student athletes throughout the nation. And with that, Bill Perkins, are you there?
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, Bill, and thank you so much for joining the show. I'm so excited to talk about your, I'm going to make Dan say it, what's the name of his organization, Dan?
No, I'm not going to say big words. Hey, could you change that? I can't say
Scholastic.
I can't say it. Can you change that, please?
He has tripped on it 3 times now. So Bill, you tell us the name of your organization.
It's the Scholastic Shooting Sports Program.
See how
we
easy?
currently have 2 programs for youth. One's the Scholastic Pistol Program, and the other one is the Scholastic Clay Target Program.
Those are awesome. Now, you are out of Tucson, right?
I am,
but this is a nationwide organization, am I right?
Yes, it is.
And you guys are sponsored by the NSSF?
Well, the NSSF is very good at starting programs, and 13 years ago they started the Scholastic Clay Target Program. And after several years, it had to provide its own funding. So the Scholastic Shooting Sports Foundation was started.
Gotcha.
And so that program's been rolling along, and it's very mature. It's been adopted by a lot of state wildlife agencies, game and fish departments, Department of Natural Resources. And 4 years ago, the Scholastic Shooting Sports Foundation added the Scholastic Pistol Program just to add some diversity. Not everybody wants to shoot the same type of firearms, so now they have a choice of 2 different types of sporting events.
That is so exciting. Now, what basic age range do you work with?
Well, we start at 6th grade, and so the program's designed to start with youth as young as 6th grade and up through and including full-time college enrollment. So, I mean, generally around 21, 22 years old.
So in Tucson, do you have this program in public schools?
Well, the programs we've got started in Tucson, I started the team 3 years ago in Tucson, and we now have 3 teams up and running, and I hope a 4th team soon. And they're not affiliated with the high schools because one of the advantages of not affiliating with the high schools, it's open to kids from different schools.
Mm-hmm.
And the second team that got started down here is a Boy Scout team. And so those are all Boy Scouts from the same council.
Well,
I'm getting ready to start a team with the University of Arizona.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's very exciting. Because, and we're gonna hold you over the break because we're gonna have to break in just a second here, and we're gonna dig a little deeper into this. But you were saying that this program can actually get kids college money scholarships. Am I right?
It is. And so we're not just teaching them good gun handling. We're not just teaching them discipline and self-reliance and teamwork. But this is actually something that when they get good at, they can earn a college scholarship, just like swimming or football or soccer or many other athletic endeavors.
I just love that so much because there are so many skills involved in shooting well. You've got the target shooting for the clays that they're soaring across the sky, you know. Then you've got the it's not called quick draw. What's the pistol one?
Well, scholastic pistol is the handgun sport, but because we're an introductory sport, we don't draw from a holster.
Gotcha.
And so that's what makes it good for beginners to come in. And we start from what's called the low-ready positions. The firearm's already loaded, and you start out by pointing at a cone on the ground 12 feet away.
All right. Hey, hold that thought. We got to run to a commercial, but we're going to hold you over, and we'll have more time to dig into this. So sit tight, Bill. We're going to step away for just a minute. So, folks, we are talking about how to take the scary out of guns today and replace it with safety. So still to come in our second hour coming up, we've got some gun safety for first-time shooters. We've got Halloween safety tips, Dan's tip of the week, and more with Bill Perkins from the Scholastic Shooting Sports Foundation right after this break.
The Seth Leibson Show, where it's principles, not politics.
Is there not a difference between a man with a gun who enters your house at night and wants to shoot you, and you who may be armed and shoot him first? Same kind of weapon, same kind of bullet, different ends. If you don't understand the ends of your violence, you will never be able to have a moral discussion of war. You will never be able to talk about just war theory, the justice in going to war, and the justice of what you do in war.
Weekdays from 10 to midnight on 960 The Patriot.
Hey ladies, Cheryl Todd here from azfirearms.com. Many of us ladies are taking the important step of becoming responsibly armed, but it can be an intimidating process. And with all the politics swirling, a first-time gun buyer, whether a guy or a lady, might feel uncertain about where to begin and who to trust. At azfirearms.com, we are a small, friendly, family-owned shop that specializes in first-time gun buyers. We are staffed with knowledgeable people who are ready to help answer all of your questions. My husband Dan and I pride ourselves on having a safe, no-pressure environment. Once you have decided on a purchase, azfirearms.com partners with professional firearms instructors who will train you to become a responsible, safe, prepared, and proficient gun owner. So ladies and gents, when you are looking for personalized service and a huge selection, come to azfirearms.com in Old Town Avondale off the I-10 and Dysart Road, or visit us on the web at azfirearms.com.
American Vision Windows is Arizona's one-stop shop for windows and doors, with over 70,000 customers and over 600,000 windows installed.
We are honored to be the only window installation company in Arizona with our own custom-designed window for the extreme Arizona climate.
American Vision Windows' exclusive Arizona package is tailored to the harsh desert climate and is the industry's leading energy-efficient window.
We created a window based on our first-hand experience with the perfect balance of beauty and protection from the extreme Arizona heat and dust.
The Arizona package is beautiful, has better glass, best vinyl, and a lifetime guarantee.
Which means a more comfortable home for you and your family, all while saving money on your energy bills.
And for a limited time, you'll receive free upgrade to American Vision Windows' exclusive Arizona package with free upgrade to triple pane glass and free expert installation. Wow! Call 480-619-5707. 480-619-5707. ROC number 267599.
When you're working hard to beat debt, you got to think of creative ways to get your income up. Here's an idea. Sell some stuff at auction. Start with locally owned and operated potofgoldestate.com. The owners, Dan and Cheryl Todd, have over 60 years of combined experience in selling antiques, collectibles, guns, coins, and jewelry. And over their many years in business, they've earned the trust of hundreds just like you. Whether you're saving for a rainy day emergency fund or paying down debt, let potofgoldestate.com help you get the extra cash you need. Potofgoldestate.com will purchase your items outright, or you can and consign them to their twice-a-month online auction. Pot of Gold's nationwide online auction is a great place to get top dollar for your collectibles. They specialize in everything from antiques, household items, to cars, boats, guns, and more at potofgoldestate.com. Or visit them off I-10 and Dysart Road in historic Avondale for some live auction action. For more, visit potofgoldestate.com. potofgoldestate.com.
Ann Coulter and Hugh Hewitt, November 12th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets on sale now at 960thepatriot.com. The biggest political event of 2015, the Future of Freedom Tour, sponsored by Guns Etc. Looking to see what's up next on the Hugh Hewitt Show? Like 960 The Patriot on Facebook for daily show updates. 960 The Patriot, where truth matters.
It's close to midnight.
Welcome back to the Halloween edition of Gun Freedom Radio, where we engage, educate, and inform. And today we're a little bit spooky. A little bit, Dan?
Just a little bit.
Not too terribly spooky. Actually, we're talking about replacing scary with safe as it relates to kids with guns. And I wanted to mention also that we're sponsored today by azfirearms.com, the biggest little gun shop in Arizona. And on the line, we have with us Bill Perkins. And Bill Perkins is with the Scholastic Shooting Sports Foundation. And just before we went to the break, we were talking, Bill, about that you're in Tucson, but this is a nationwide program. And it is tied in with the NSSF. Am I right?
Well, it was started by NSSF, and so for the last 9 years, we've got our own board of directors. We've got to do our own fundraising, and so the NSSF gave us a great start, and they're good at starting programs. And then they say, "Okay, go forth and multiply," and that's what we've done.
Well, Bill, I have a couple questions. First, how do you get your funding? I mean, how do you get donations, or what do you do?
Well, so much of what we do and the success of our program comes from the industry. I mean, the industry recognizes the importance of what we're doing, and so we've got terrific sponsors: Glock, Smith & Wesson, Action Target makes our steel target products, Ruger, CZ, Smith & Wesson. They all contribute to what we're doing, and the majority of the way they contribute to that is they do contribute funding, but they also help teams by making the products available at a very affordable price.
That's great. The other question I have, if I had a 6th grade in my house and I want to get him or her started, what would I do?
Well, you'd start at the Scholastic Shooting Sports Foundation website, which is also a handful. It's sssfonline.org.
Say that again.
On that page, you would go and look for how do I join a team.
Okay.
Say it again. SSSF.
Online.
Online.org.
Yes.
Very good. Probably easier than Scholastic. Dan's struggling with that. Now, one of the things that I got so excited about when you and I met at the GRPC conference here in Phoenix, and I was so glad to meet you there, but you were saying how what you guys have is a feeder sport, and you can tell us what that means, for the Olympic shotgun team?
Well, not just shotgun, but yes. So, a lot of people really have legitimate concerns about firearms, and because so much of what is reported is negative. And so if you've got a young person that wants to become a world-class soccer player, they can start playing at soccer fields across the country at 6, 7 years old. And if you want to become an Olympic gymnast, you can start as tumbling as a gymnast, 3 or 4 years old. So it's really difficult if you decide that you like cowboy movies and grew up watching John Wayne, that you want to become an Olympic pistol shooter. How in the world would you do that?
Right.
And so there isn't that natural roadway to get you to the Olympics. And the Scholastic Clay Target program started 13 years ago. And as a result of that program, the United States has 2 medals, or actually 2 different individuals that have medaled in the U.S. Olympics. And we've also got 8 others that are either on the national development team or the junior national development team. The Scholastic Pistol program is so much younger that we haven't had that opportunity to develop these young athletes to have that opportunity. But it's an opportunity for them to take that first step. And the path to the Olympics, it's a long, difficult road, but there is a process to get there.
Absolutely. And I think it's so important to, setting all the politics aside, all the negative press aside, all the dramatic hysteria aside about guns and kids, if they're educated, right? And you've got trainers right there with them. What an incredible sport. What an incredible opportunity, because it teaches responsibility. It teaches focus. There's all kinds of muscles that you use and you develop. It really is very, not educational, but athletic if you think about it, right?
It is. And I think, from the risk management point of view, a lot of people they're intimidated by firearms. But when you look at the shooting sports as a whole, one of the things that the National Association of Sporting Goods Retailers is very good at is they're very good at tracking these statistics. And anybody that's attended a football game, football's our national pastime, but in the end zone of all high school football games, there's an ambulance. And we accept that risk that somebody may get injured doing that.
Right.
And when you look at the shooting sports, statistically, the shooting sports are actually safer than recreational walking. and so when you compare the fear that some people have of something that might happen compared to the reality that the shooting sports are actually one of the safest activities that young men and young women and families can get involved in, it really changes a lot of people's perception. And it's one of the tools that I use when I talk about this, so that people aren't as afraid. And a lot of times they're afraid of because you have a smoke and noise and an explosion in front of your face every time you pull the trigger, and that can be intimidating. But the actual risk is very, very low.
Absolutely. Now, we talked maybe a little bit about, setting all the politics aside and stuff, what the pluses are. But, the knee-jerk reaction is what the knee-jerk reaction is. And so have you gotten much pushback from people when you start talking to parents about, hey, what about bringing your kid in and trying out this sport? What's the sport? Oh, guns? What? What are you asking?
Sure. Well, I think it's natural just to be kind of cautious about any activity you want to put your son or your daughter in.
Mm-hmm.
And when they find out it's firearms, again, they're kind of curious again. They're like, what? Tell me more about this. But a lot of the young men and young women that are in this program, either they found out about it and they said, Mom and Dad, come on, I really want to try this. And when Mom and Dad do find out more about it and they understand a lot of the structure that goes into it and find out more about our program and realize how safe it is, then we've done our job to educate those parents that this is an activity, an after-school activity, just like many high schools have for more traditional athletic sports.
Well, I think it's phenomenal. And so since you're in Tucson and we're in Phoenix, what would be the opportunity down here?
In the Phoenix area?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a team in Casa Grande. There's currently 5 teams in Arizona.
Okay.
And the team in Kingman is high school affiliated. And there are teams across the country that are high school affiliated. And what that means is that a young woman or young man could actually participate in that sport and get their varsity letter as an athlete competing on a pistol team. So the closest team actually to Phoenix right now is that team in Casa Grande. And one of the things that actually makes it difficult to do in Phoenix is the fact that the gun ranges up there are so popular that sometimes it can actually just be difficult to get practice time on the range.
Right, exactly. So even though it's high school affiliated, it's not like they're out on a field next to the football field. They actually leave campus and go to.
Not.
They don't use the cafeteria or anything like that.
Well, in the old days, a lot of the air gun programs did use the cafeteria.
Yeah.
That's true, but no, not for what we're doing.
Well, and a friend of mine said that when she was in high school, I think it was in New York, of all places, they had a basement area set up at their high school where it was set up as an indoor shooting range. So, times really have changed, and I don't know if it's for the better, and I don't know why we have so much hysteria now when if it just does come down to educating and familiarizing kids and parents with this tool. Danny was making an analogy earlier off the air about, when you first learn to drive. That's a scary thing to get behind this huge, tonnage of metal and let your kid go barreling down the road. Right. But we teach them and we train them and then we trust them.
We also pray a little bit, too.
Well, one of the parts that I do like about what we're doing is the generation that was older than me, I would always hear stories about how they would say that when they were in grade school, they could get on the school bus with a rifle or shotgun, and after school they could participate in the rifle team, or they could hunt birds on the way home. And that was, food they were providing for their family. And my generation missed out on all those opportunities. But we're really taking that back, because now we've got programs back in schools again where they can letter as a varsity athlete. Even if they're not part of a school, they can still participate as an after-school activity. And then when they're done and out of high school, they can use these skills that they've acquired, which are all those important life skills that we always talk about. A lot of the same life skills that you need just to be a good driver. It's about taking personal responsibility. It's about making good decisions. And they can take these skills and then use those skills, and those will help pay for their college education. And that's what we want in good citizens. We want people that are educated, people that make good responsible decisions and know how to exercise some self-discipline.
Exactly.
Bill, that's great. And you kind of, I can date myself here because I used to go to East High School here in Phoenix, and I kept a shotgun in the back of my rack on my truck.
Right.
Unlocked, go to school, then the teachers and I would meet at 48th and Washington and go bird hunting.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a perfect example.
Now somebody's going to jail.
If you got mad, at somebody, you just fought them. You didn't threaten them with a gun or, it was just a good old honest fight. It's changed so much now. But it's a great program you're doing. I mean, and people might be able to say the word scholastic right if you if you go through all this training.
All right. Well, I have one more question to ask you, and it was something that you shared with me at the GRPC that I thought was so cool, and I couldn't believe, as almost an Arizona native, my family moved us out here when I was an infant, that I did not know this about the Arizona state flag, but you have some cool trivia about it.
Yeah, there's a national match every year at Camp Perry, and all the people from all around the country will go and attend this match. And before Arizona was a state, it was a territory. And so the high-power shooters from the territory of Arizona went back to this match in Camp Perry, and all up and down the firing line, they saw all of the other competitors were flying their state flag at their firing position. And it was just a way to kind of, bring, they want to represent their state, they want to be proud of their state. And so one of those shooters went back to the hotel that night, and he said to his wife, he says, we don't have a state flag because we're not a state yet, we're just territory. And so his wife then that night designed the flag and said, here, fly this tomorrow. And so by the end of the match, they were flying the territory of Arizona flag unofficially at Camp Perry. And just several years later, when Arizona did become a state, the governor of Arizona signed off on that, and that's the flag that we have today. And it was actually designed by competitive high-power shooters.
How about that? I mean, I just think that is the coolest thing ever. And, just a little extra bragging rights for your club there, the Scholastic Shooting Sports Foundation. Tell us real quickly how people can find you online, how they can get involved, and then we've got to run out of here.
Okay. Well, our website, again, is sssfonline.org. And we have two programs, Scholastic Pistol and Scholastic Clay Target, just depending on if the young man or young woman is interested in shooting handguns or shotguns. And they'll have to try to, depending on what part of the state they're on, they can try to find a team. And Scholastic Clay Target is also adopted by Arizona Game and Fish. And so there are 26 clay target teams in Arizona, and there are 5 Scholastic Pistol teams in Arizona.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Bill, for coming and being a part of the show today. I know we've told people stuff they didn't ever know before, so
thank you,
hey,
Bill.
You and your family have a safe and happy Halloween, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, my gosh. Isn't that the coolest? Well, before I close this out here, I want to say that I got a text. This is the coolest thing for me. I got a text from a friend who says, hey, I'm listening. And it's my good friend Mike Madden over at Cookies in Bloom. They're at 3931 East Indian School Road, and what a fun treat to pick up for Halloween. Run over to Cookies and Bloom. Say hi to my friend Mike.
They make gun cookies.
They do. Gun-shaped cookies.
I mean, how about a Glock cookie?
He makes them.
Yep.
It's the coolest. Check them out.
And they
okay.
taste good.
We've got tons more coming in our second hour. And one of the things we're going to talk about is one of the scariest things you can try to do with a gun.
I got it. The
What?
wife finds the receipt for the gun that you bought.
And how much you actually paid?
Yes.
Nope, ain't it.
That's happened to me about 37 times.
Yeah, trust me, I'm the wife. Anyway, by the way, I bought a Canon, Cheryl. Anyway, stick around. We're coming right back. We've got tons of great stuff. And Frank Mercy is in the studio, who is an NRA firearms instructor. Stick around.
The evil of the thriller.